Shri Parashakti Vidyala CBSE Class 9th Standard Subject English.
Dear students, hope you fine. Today we are going to learn some more interesting incidents in Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's life. Before that, let us recall the life story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam taught in the previous class. Abdul Kalam, who was one of the world's greatest scientists, was born in a middle-class Muslim family in 1931 at Rameshwaram. His journey from a middle-class family in Rameshwaram to the president's house had not been a smooth ride. He worked hard and faced all the odds of life. He was born in a conservative society. His family, his teachers, and his friends influenced him in his childhood. I will read the 6th and 7th paragraphs. One day, when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwara Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap which mocked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to Ramanatha Sastry, who wore the sacred thread. The new teacher couldn't stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. In accordance with our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. I felt very sad, and so did Ramanatha Sastry. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. Lakshmana Sastry summoned the teacher and in our presence told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize or quit the school and the island. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Sastry conveyed ultimately reformed this young teacher. Here, stomach means couldn't tolerate. Downcast means sad. Summon means call for. Apologize, to beg pardon. Conviction, a strong belief. None of his friends felt any difference among themselves because of their religious differences and upbringing. One day, when Abdul Kalam was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to his class. He could not endure a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. The author was asked to sit in the back bench. He felt very sad, and so did Ramanatha Sastry. They communicated this matter to their parents. Lakshmana Sastry summoned the teacher and told him that he should not spread communalism and the feelings of inequality. He bluntly asked the teacher to apologize or quit the school and the island. The teacher regretted his behavior and changed his attitude also. Now I will read the next 2 paragraphs. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of the segregation of different social groups. However, my science teacher, Sivasubramania Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. He used to spend hours with me and would say, "Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities." One day, he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Sivasubramania Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. When I was leaving his house, Sivasubramania Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. When I visited his house the next week, Sivasubramania Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. Here, segregation means separation, ritual means tradition, perturb means worry. Though Rameshwaram was a small society, it was very rigid in terms of the segregation of different social groups. Abdul was also greatly influenced by his science teacher Sivasubramania Iyer. He learned the lesson of breaking social barriers from him. Iyer invited him to his house for a meal. His wife was an Orthodox Brahmin and she refused to serve food to a Muslim boy in her so-called ritually pure kitchen. Iyer served him with his own hand and sat down beside him to eat his meal. He told Abdul that if you want to change the system, such problems are bound to be confronted. He convinced his wife to serve meal with her own hands and thus was successful in changing the conservative attitude of his wife. Now I'll read the 10th paragraph. Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Imminent means near, unprecedented means never happened before, optimism means with good or successful feeling. I'll explain the paragraph. Then the Second World War was over and people hoped for freedom. Gandhiji declared about freedom that people will build their own India. For higher education, Kalam sought permission from his father to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Now I'll read the last paragraph. He told me as if thinking aloud, Abdul, I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to my hesitant mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. Here, quote means repeat, thought means idea. When Abdul Kalam asked permission to study in Ramanathapuram, his father encouraged him. He took example of young seagulls which leave their parents' nest to learn how to fly. He consoled his wife who was emotional about the departure of her child. He told her, quoting Khalil Gibran, a Persian philosopher who had said that parents are the means for children to become independent, to lead their lives their way. They don't belong to the parents themselves. From this story, we learn that we can rise in life if we have strong determination and dedication. We must have love for the country, and our country is above all our desires. Now, answer these questions in 1 or 2 sentences each. Number 1, where was Abdul Kalam's house? Second one, what do you think Dinamani is the name of? Give a reason for your answer. Third one, who were Abdul Kalam's school friends? What did they later become? Fourth one, how did Abdul Kalam earn his first wages? Fifth one, had he earned any money before that? In what way? Second Roman letter, answer each of these questions in a short paragraph, about 30 words. First one, how does the author describe his father, his mother, himself? Second one, what characteristics does he say he inherited from his parents? That's all today, students. Thank you very much.